What's up guys, welcome to the middle of the Highlands in a stormy, snowy evening here, and it's been crazy weather the last days, but we found a weather window to make it out here to our cabin, and so happy to be here because these conditions are what it's all about. The blowing snow, fresh snow, and the beautiful blue hour of winter. Woof, what a day. Welcome to the beginning of a new expedition out to our hut in the Highlands. I am actually a day late starting because of quite a massive storm that just rolled through Iceland. It might be the biggest of the year, red warnings everywhere, but it hasn't stopped us. We just needed to wait out the worst of the storm, and now it's just a bit of wind and potentially either melted snow or a beautiful landscape. I actually have no idea what we're about to go into, but we're going to give it our best shot, starting from Hrauneyjar, our usual beginning point for these missions. So we're now a few kilometers in and it's already becoming a challenge in my car. The trouble is, like, I have a pretty big car on 40-inch tires, but there's been much bigger Jeeps from us on 44 and 46-inch tires making some ruts, meaning it's very different for me to go through because I don't have as much clearance. Had to use the shovel already a bit, and I'm going to try and just go around the tracks here, see if the ground is frozen enough. When you're driving as one car, which, you know, in many situations I would highly not recommend doing, but because I have two cars already further down the trail, I'm able to take a little bit more risk, but I'm also very cautious because I just don't want to get stuck. So we'll see if we can continue going around the track. That was a sketchy one. You could hear the ice. Weather's changed a little bit, but the track is now much easier to drive. There is less deep snow ruts, meaning that I can cruise through them. But now we're going potentially into a whiteout. So we'll have to see how the next chapter of this drive goes. But so far, it's been amazing to be out here after the storm, to see the blue meltwater puddles. It's amazing. So it started snowing on us. It's now pretty much a whiteout that we're going into. Because it's a little bit darker, it is pretty simple to drive in with the headlights and all the extra lights that I've installed. So we can see the cabin now. It's out there, just a little tiny dot, but we're gonna have to go on the mission, which is the hardest of getting to this hut, the last chapter from the road to the hut, and it is just out there in the abyss. But luckily we have it well mapped. We are almost at the hut, and I almost got stuck but managed to get myself out. And because the route is so different to normal due to the fact we've had this storm, there's Siggy. He's coming on a little mission. We're going to convoy the last section, the last literal kilometer to the hut.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you know where Woodstock is?
We've just made it to the cabin. Quite an adventurous day to get here. we're getting storm weather.
It tends to happen when we go out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the blue hour also.
Yeah.
It might be at least my favorite conditions ever.
Like the best conditions you could ever dream up are occurring right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just we met like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And this
All
this
it
just
takes
happened.
is for us to just like come in contact and then this weather happens. For me, these nights are really what it is all about. Putting in the work to reach these remote locations and then letting the weather kind of come to you. You have to really work with it because a lot of the time it's not in your favor. But in this particular moment, we have beautiful, fresh blowing snow that is illuminated by the headlights of the cars, and it just looks absolutely awesome. So we are out here taking photos and really enjoying the blue hour before we head into the cabin. Hello! Are we allowed in? Good morning, guys. Welcome to the cabin. We had the most insane night last night. Beautiful blowing snow, which we illuminated with the car headlights. Very excited to see those photos. And it really is just proof of being out there and waiting, how good it can be to just put yourself into those environments and then kind of let nature bring you these photographic opportunities that you could never really plan for. Today we are going to be kind of cruising back down to the lowlands, but along the way just make a few different stops, photography locations, and also just a bit of cozy moments out in nature with the group. It was such a beautiful sunrise this morning, very clear skies and very, very calm, like silence to the point where you literally can hear your own heartbeat. And that's something that I don't think we really ever get to experience in the modern world. In a city especially, there's always some kind of noise. So to be out here in silence is truly special. So we're now just getting the cars ready for departure. I might have a little bit of a leak in my air system somewhere. So I had to lock the valves last night down here. And I've just opened the system again and pumping up. You can see the whiteout that has started. Very different conditions to when we woke up. So while we're out here in the Highlands preparing our lunch, I thought I would tell you about today's sponsor, and that is Artlist, which is an all-in-one platform for the creation of virtually any online content or cinematic productions that you might be working on. And in this video, I wanted to try out a bunch of the different LUTs that are available on their site. From photography days, I never really used presets, so I carried that thought over to video, and I always did everything manually myself. But through the editing process of making these YouTube videos, I feel like I often experience creative burnout, and especially when it comes to the grade, unless it's shots of nature, when it's just shots vlogging, I really have been leaning on these LUTs to kind of bring a fresh creative take to the look of these videos. So in this environment, where I'm kind of challenged by an extreme whiteout, I thought it would be fun to try something new and find an aesthetic that might be able to be carried across my future winter videos for this season. So thank you to Artlist for sponsoring this video, and you can head to the link in the description for a special deal on any annual subscriptions. It is a proper whiteout at the moment, blowing snow, pretty much no visibility, and driving off of the GPS. The purpose of today is to get ourselves back down to the lowlands and explore what we see on the way, which is not a whole lot at the moment, but it does lead to very awesome moments just in the car with the guys, chatting about photography and cinematography and our different ways moving forward that we want to try and pursue. So yeah, this is another part of the storm trips that I find really fun, is kind of brainstorming knowledge, sharing my experience, learning from the guys that travel with us. It's really fun. Well, that brings us to the end of another little mini storm expedition vlog here in the Highlands of Iceland. I hope you've enjoyed following along. It's always something new, even though we follow the same route on each trip. They're just, the light and the conditions bring something new every time, some new photo opportunity, and it is just completely addictive to be out here in the elements. So stay tuned for the next video, and please subscribe if you want to see more from Iceland and the Arctic. See you in the next video.